Good Tuesday to all. Welcome back. You're watching the Kaiser Report. John and Kaiser here to talk to you today about some of the goings-on that we have mentioned to you yesterday and last week about the implosion of the left side of the aisle, along with some rhinos such as Lindsey Graham and the rest of the rhinos that will remain unnamed right now, based on the fact that if you watched any of the Munich talks over the weekend, which I did, you'll find very rapidly that Lindsey Graham, of all the people in the world to turn his back on what the president asked for us to accomplish there, managed to show his true colors, or lack of color, in his actions there. Well, enough. Take a look here.
I'm not going to try to get into the mind of Donald Trump. I think he's a kook. I think he's crazy. I think he's unfit for office. And I'm a Republican and he's not.
If you can't admire Joe Biden as a person, then it's probably you got a problem. You need to do some self-evaluation. Because what's not to like?
I'm going to go throw up now.
Why did he invade in 2014? Because he could get away with it. Why did he invade again? Because he could get away with it. I want to tell you and your people, you're the ally I've been hoping for all my life.
I wish I knew how to quit you.
It's unbelievable that this guy can get away with what he pulls off in the disguise of a true conservative, which he is not. And just as you just heard from his own mouth, he's no fan of Donald Trump and is not going to work with him at the resurgence that's taking place right now among Doge and the promises he made in the campaign, which he is adhering to and keeping his promises. The economy has not turned fast enough because in 3 weeks they thought it was all going to be fixed and prices were going to fall. And then they pulled this nonsense about you can't buy eggs anymore and restaurant prices have to go up and your household prices are going up because of the egg crisis. What mainstream media drums in fear to you, and this is how they operate and have operated for many, many years in the mainstream legacy propaganda machine that it is not telling you that the previous administration killed all the chickens and you can't get eggs as a result of it, but they forgot to mention that. And they also forget to mention that all of the price, or rather the control of these agencies that are being funded by your tax dollars were attempted by Clinton. They were attempted by Obama. They were attempted by the Bushes, and they were all campaign rhetoric telling you that they were going to get hold of waste in this government and did not accomplish anything. They added more opportunity for waste and fraud in this government than anyone. And now that Trump is actually doing something about it, all of the same people that had no fault with what those presidents did are up in arms over the fact that they're going to be found wanting because they, in their administrations, did nothing to do anything about the, let's just take what they've uncovered today with regard to Social Security checks being mailed out to 130-year-old people and in some cases 300-year-old people. I'm not making this up. It's all over the medias that you look at, that is either Forbes or Truth Social and platforms such as this that will tell you about these things. But when you tune in to CNN, MSNBC, and the three legacy networks, ABC, NBC, and CBS, you're hard-pressed to hear a word about it. You're hard-pressed to hear when they tell you every day that you need to live in fear, because fear is their control factor, and they want you to be afraid at all costs. Be afraid of Doge finding these things out, when in fact, the left side of the aisle and some of the right side of the aisle has benefited from the fraud and misuse of taxpayer funds that have been found out so far. But you won't hear it reported there, because they are the propaganda machine that led you to believe that this all had to happen in the name of DEI, in the name of helping other countries and feeding their poor, protecting their borders, and making sure Europe isn't stepped on one more time so we don't have to run over and bail them out, which is what they're angling for now when you listen to the reaction of the Munich meetings where the vice president spoke and several other people that are in the know have tried to make them understand that by suppressing thought and words and posts and cartoons that people may post, by smashing through their doors and arresting people in Germany, smacks of Nazi propaganda machines that they controlled Germany with, until it came to an explosion of a world war that many will never forget. Don't take my word for it. Take a look here.
It's 6:01 on a Tuesday morning, and we were with state police as they raided this apartment in northwest Germany.
Hier ist die Polizei, wir mussten bitte mal mit Ihnen reden.
Inside, 6 armed officers searched a suspect's home, then seized his laptop and cell phone. Prosecutors say those electronics may have been used to commit a crime. The crime, posting a racist cartoon online.
Wow! Wow!
At the exact same time, across Germany,
Wir haben einen Durchsuchungsbeschluss für diese Wohnung.
more than 50 similar raids played out. Part of what prosecutors say is a coordinated effort to curb online hate speech in Germany. Is it a crime to insult somebody in public?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
And it's a crime to insult them online as well?
Yes.
The fine could be even higher
Yeah.
if you insult someone in the internet.
Why?
Because in internet, it stays there. If we are talking here face to face, you insult me, I insult you, okay, finish. But if you in the internet, if I insult you or a politician,
That sticks around forever.
yeah.
If somebody posts something that's not true, and then somebody else reposts it or likes it, are they committing a crime?
Yeah, in the case of reposting, it is a crime as well, because the reader can't distinguish whether you just invented this or just reposted it. That's the same for us.
No. No.
But some here worry by policing the internet, Germany is backsliding. The criticism that, this feels like the surveillance that Germany conducted 80 years ago. How do you respond to that?
There is no surveillance.
Josephine Ballon is a CEO of Hate Aid, a Berlin-based human rights organization that supports victims of online violence. In the United States, a lot of people look at this and say this is restricting free speech. It's a threat to democracy.
Free speech needs boundaries.
These people are sick. These people are sick.
And in the case of Germany, these boundaries are part of our constitution. Without boundaries, a very small group of people can rely on endless freedom to say anything that they want, while everyone else is scared and intimidated.
Danny! Trisha, just take Danny and go. Just run! Run!
Hush up, boy. It's craziness in this world today, and it's craziness to think that we have to protect all of these people when they do not want to hear the way we're asking them to behave as human beings, as children of God, and lose a little power here and there because this is what enriches these people. This is the fear that they want you to live under, because fear to these people equals control, and this is what this cabal is up to. And to be led by Germany smacks of just 1938 to me. Smashing down someone's door because you didn't agree with a post they put on social media, that they now want to control everything you post, everything you say. And they tried to make this country into the European model that you're listening to now at these seminars that are going on, that have been attended by Rubio and the like. And J.D. Vance's speech, in my estimation, will go into history books and be taught at some point, because it was very, very well handled, and with the information that these people in Europe better get hold of and understand that they no longer can control things, and their fear of Russia is well well advised to them with the antics that they're pulling off and the rhetoric that they're using to get Ukraine involved in NATO. And that's what this is all about. It's Control 101. And these idiots that are running around in the United States singing, screaming into microphones in the street, and getting so upset that things are being uncovered in the Treasury Department and in Social Security checks that were being randomly not audited for people that are 130 and 300 years old. Do you know any of these people? And now they say because of an algorithm, they can't figure out who got the check and who cashed the check. That is a lie. And it's a lie because how did they send the check? They have to know where they sent it, or if it was a direct deposit, whose account it went into. Why are they so afraid of you knowing the truth? Why are they railing against Doge and the President of the United States when he is trying to bring an answer to all of us, as he promised, about where in the hell the money went? And if you are in fear of someone finding out that you didn't do your job and you didn't practice the fiduciary responsibility that you were given as head of these departments, you deserve to be fired and you deserve to be laid off. And that goes right down the line for anybody that doesn't show up and gets a paycheck every week, because we, the people that are out working every day, don't have that luxury to sit at home and have a second job while you're being paid to do the first job that you don't show up for. never mind audit or watch where the pennies are being spent and flowing to from an organization such as USAID or the Treasury Department or the Social Security Administration. They were quick for years to yell, oh, by 2030, we're not going to be able to issue Social Security because we'll be broke. Well, guess what? You weren't watching where all of the money was going out the door to, so don't use the fear to get elected. You are running the Democratic Party and have been, and in some cases it's true for the Republican Party. They're not innocent in all of this by any stretch of the means, and they use these fear factors to gain your vote and then sit back and do nothing about it but prepare to run for the next election and the next fear factor that they can come up with, whether it's the bird flu, whether it's COVID, whether it's whatever they're going to come up with next out of the Fauci bank of fooled with viruses that they may or may not release on the world again through labs in the Ukraine and in Wuhan, China. And then you listen today about manufacturing. There is nothing that has a cord that you can plug in or battery operated made in this country any longer. This is why you can't get a toaster that works right for more than 10 days. This is why you can't get an oven and a range that will last more than 2 years. This is why you can't get a dishwasher that will last more than 2.5 years. It's junk that they're giving to us, making money on us, and then we have politicians that are afraid of putting tariffs on these people. Bring back to this country the Emersons, the Philcos, the Westinghouse, and machines that used to work and last for years. I had a grandmother that had a refrigerator from the 1950s that is still operating in my uncle's basement, and all they did was change some weather stripping around the door. Try and do that with an LG appliance today. It's junk that they're forcing down our throats. And then they're worried about putting a tariff on them to force manufacturing to come back to this country. Oh, yes, you need to fear that. That means jobs. That means building of new factories. That means renovating or reusing some factories that are falling into disrepair in these cities that are not being taken care of. This is what we elect officials in these cities to do. And what do? They go to cocktail parties, they raise money for their next campaign, and they bleed the money dry that is in the coffers of these cities to house and feed and buy houses for and give telephones to for illegal immigrants that should not be in this country, some of them with criminal records that have killed people. This needs to be brought to a halt. This needs to be looked at, and each and every one of these organizations, including the three-letter organizations in this country, need to account for where their expenditures are and do an audit on their past performances. And it should be a merit-based system for people working in those organizations. Why would the Democratic Party be fighting so hard against that? Could it be you won't fear them enough anymore? Fear is what has been pushed on us for the last 4 years and more. We can go back into the Obama administration, and so on and so on. And it's on both sides of the aisle. Waste is being covered up by you being afraid to say something that you may really think and believe, or an idea that you may have that goes against their organized religion of falsehoods that they make you afraid to do these things. And this is your Democratic Party right now imploding over what is being found out, what is bubbling to the surface of the swamp, and the drain is being cleared, and they are not happy about it. And as far as legacy media and The View and the liars at CNN and MSNBC, you should be ashamed of yourselves, each and every one of you. And the FCC, if they had a backbone, would put you all off the air. And that is not censorship. That is, if you lie, you lose your job. If you sit in the press room and hear the truth and go out to your network and put out the exact opposite, you don't belong in the press room any longer. And that's been a bone of contention with some people like Acosta and those of that ilk that cannot tell the truth and is so one-sided and politically orientated they have no business even thinking that they're a journalist, never mind an investigative reporter. It is almost incredible what they have gotten away with and the lies that they continue to tell about this administration, about DOJ, and about the class of people that are been picked for cabinet positions, that they will tell you right up to the day that they are confirmed that they'll never be confirmed, and you better fear what they're going to do if you let them confirm them. This is more of the same, fear, control, and we're not buying it anymore. America has spoken, and America is not buying your lies any longer. Take a look here.
And if you look at social sciences, they have studied this. And one sociologist in particular, Jennifer Walters, she makes this really interesting point that she says this is a deliberate tactic used by regimes, used by powerful entities to manipulate and control people by bombarding them with so much information that they feel overwhelmed. It's called the shock and awe tactic. And so you've got this rapid influx of information or change, and it creates this sense of disorientation and fear that I think a lot of us are feeling. And it makes it difficult to critically analyze and then, of course, react appropriately.
So we're not playing games. We have to do it.
Well, it is clear we are in a whole new era. Donald Trump declaring his inauguration Liberation Day and immediately getting to work with a remarkable show of the use of executive power, granting a blanket pardon to virtually everyone charged or convicted for the January 6th attack.
And medical workers across the country are reacting to President Trump's decision to withdraw the U.S. from the World Health Organization.
U.S. Customs and Border Protection announced the closing of the CBP One app today, which gave legal entry into the country to nearly 1 million migrants since the program started.
The president slashing funding to combat climate change and withdrawing the U.S. from the Paris Climate Accord.
Well, this is only half a day. I have another half a day left.
Meanwhile, President Trump is now calling for USAID to be completely shut down.
So I just like to see somebody wake the hell up and get excited about the fact that your country is under assault. They're not at the gate anymore. They're in your bedrooms. They're in your living rooms. They're in your businesses. They got your data, dumbass. They got all your stuff.
Let me see you get really mad.
President Trump made a campaign promise to keep men out of women's sports, and today he signed an executive order banning transgender women and girls from competing in women's sports.
Okay, do you want to do this? Watch what I do, and then I'm going to give you some pens, okay? You ready? What a nice picture this is, huh, Governor?
Trump administration moves to slash the federal workforce. Thousands of government employees are bracing for more layoffs this very morning.
Pete Hegseth is not going to be confirmed for Secretary of Defense. It's all over.
Let's head back to breaking news here at home from the Capitol overnight. The Senate just narrowly confirmed Pete Hegseth to serve as our next Secretary of Defense.
We are there. RFK Jr. has been confirmed by the full Senate as the HHS Secretary.
That big body of water that drives so much of Tampa Bay's economy is getting a new name. No longer will it be called the Gulf of Mexico, at least in the eyes of the federal government.
You've probably heard about this. President Trump signed an order renaming it the Gulf of America.
President Trump has eliminated the security detail for Dr. Anthony Fauci.
You've got this rapid influx of information or change, and it creates this sense of disorientation and fear that I think a lot of us are feeling.
God Almighty.
It's incredible. It is getting worse by the day, and it's being driven by their fear for a change and not ours. And it's upside down, sideways, and they can't control their anger over it. And there we are with the Tuesday rant and rave, and I'm hoping that you're all having a great day. Please don't be duped, and do not be afraid. No one is going to take your liberties away, your voices away. If anything else, it's all coming back, and coming back fast. And God is with us at every turn of event, and please pray often for this administration, because they're doing the job, and they are being guided by the hand of God. There is no doubt about that. I believe in my heart that this man has survived what he's been through. It's been a miracle. And we all know where miracles come from. They come from God in heaven and his Son, Jesus Christ. And with that, I'm going to wish you all a very happy rest of the Tuesday, and we'll see you all back here Wednesday tomorrow, the 19th of February, to see you one more time. So God bless, stay safe, stay strong, and stay with the Kaiser Report for more commentary, news bits, and a look around Appalachia. Bye-bye.